Hey folks, Mike Naso here from IPR with the latest on Tropical Storm Humberto, which has quickly spun up. A quick note on climatology though, September 10th is the climatological peak of the hurricane season. We're here at September 12th, so things should be going generally down before a secondary peak in October 10th or so. However, as indicated by the La Nina and by Dr. Gray and Philip Klossbach's report, things might be a little bit more active heading in towards late September, October, and certainly today they are active. We have Tropical Storm Humberto spinning up south of Houston, Texas, and we have a strengthening tropical depression out here in the central Atlantic. Right now, Humberto, as of 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Central, is at 28.6 north, 94.9 west. Maximum sustained winds had increased to only 50. Given the strengthening appearance on radar and satellite, you would think it would be stronger, but the winds have not yet responded. It is gusting up to 65 right around the center. It's moving north at 6, and it's expected to kind of turn a little bit to the north-northeast as it comes inland. Pressure now down to 999 millibars, and you can see the track here through the weekend rather slow. And so if this does kind of spin along and maybe even come back down here, we could be dealing with a prolonged rain event. We do have tropical storm warnings out between Cameron, Louisiana, all the way back to Port O'Connor, Texas. And no hurricane watches out. Doesn't look like it'll become a hurricane, although we may see those if it strengthens a bit more. You can see, based on the visible satellite here, Humberto's looking very impressive, starting to coil up. Also on the AVN color and on water vapor looking pretty good moist environment. Radar is most important, though. You can see on radar over the last several hours, this is really spun up, and you could even see it there not moving all that much, but again, expected to kind of move in this general direction. Landfall is expected, if you look at the projected path, again, it could be anywhere in the cone, but it's expected up this area just to the east of, say, Galveston Bay, and so that would continue in on a direction like this, and if it keeps spinning up like it has been, as the Hurricane Center knows, it could come inland about 65 miles an hour, which is only 9 mile an hour away from hurricane intensity. So it will be close. Very surprising tropical storm, but hey, peak of hurricane season, warm Gulf waters. You can see a good band of rainfall about to come in. Again, the rain is going to be the big threat with the system. You can see the rain rates out there already. This will all be moving in, and if the system moves slow, as you can see the models indicate, we could be dealing with a prolonged rain event. A couple of the models, not just the GFDL, but a couple of the BAMs here, wanting to start to take it around, even the Canadian getting in there on bringing the system back off to the south. If you remember Bertha in 2002, a weak storm came into New Orleans. It came back out and redeveloped into a depression wind to Texas. Of course, Ivan was a big hurricane that came back around, and the remnant circulation came back as a tropical storm into Texas. So it's not unheard of. We'll have to wait and see if it happens. Here's our second system, Tropical Depression 8. It's close to tropical storm strength. It was at 13.5, 45.5. Winds are 35, and if it becomes a tropical storm, it would be named Ingrid. And it's moving west-northwest at 11,006 millibars. You can see the track here through time, gradually off slowly to the west-northwest, and then a bend back to the west. Now here's the latest satellite image of it, and you can see it's looking better. It's very close to tropical storm strength, I'd guess. And it's got a pretty good environment for strengthening. Here's the models. Now you can see a couple of them bend off back to the west. Now the situation that we're looking at for this is to where we have this upper feature here over the north of the islands. This should create a little bit of a weakness in our ridging and allow our system to slow down and move a little bit more poleward, which is more towards the north. After that time, it's likely that the ridging may rebuild a bit and push this system a little bit more towards the west. Now there will be probably some shear coming into the picture that could weaken, at least stop the intensification by the time it gets the 4 or 5 day time frame where it could be close to hurricane strength. So this could actually become a hurricane and then weaken back down to a tropical storm. But then if it does turn back west under a ridge, things may become a little bit more favorable. Again, it's just too early to tell, but keep an eye on this, especially if you're in the northern islands at this point. Certainly Humberto, of course, in the Gulf of Mexico. Further to the east of our tropical depression, a couple of waves moving off. Keep an eye on those. It's still that time of year. And in the eastern Pacific, we do have a system out here that was an invest. Not sure if it still is or not. It's looking ragged. But nevertheless, keep an eye on it. Hurricane season 2007 continues to spin. I'm Mike Naso from IPR. Stay tuned to IPR365.com and podweather.com.